going on, guys? RonMan back again. Today we're taking a look at Legend for the Super Nintendo. There are many beat-em-ups for the Super Nintendo, but there are only three that are medieval fantasy-based: The King of Dragons, Knights of the Round, and Legend. Trying to find information for my review was pretty tough because there just isn't much out there. A lot of my Google searches led me to The Legend of Zelda, which obviously is not what we're looking at. Legend was released for the Super Nintendo in 1994. You play as a guy as you fight through 7 stages attempting to kill someone named Clovis because you have to save the kingdom. If you have a friend, you can play 2-player co-op. So I'm just going to split this review right down the middle. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and I'll give you my conclusion at the end. The reason I'm going to do it this way is because it's a beat 'em up. You know what to expect. I don't need to act like you've never played a beat 'em up. Okay, so starting off with the good. This game looks fantastic. Now, I love medieval themes, and this game nails it. The backgrounds, foregrounds, and character sprites are all super well done. The stages have a lot of environmental variation and weather effects like fog or rain. In stage 1, you start on what looks to be a countryside, then you make your way through a forest, across a bridge, and through a swamp. The visuals are this game's greatest strength. A few levels in, there's a stage where you have to fight an enemy who's trying to capture you. If you're captured, you're taken to a whole other level. If you kill the enemy, you can avoid the extra level. I think that's so cool. I can see how this might be annoying if you're looking to beat the game as fast as you can, but either way, it's a really neat touch. Between some levels, you can play a bonus round. Sometimes it's just to collect as much gold as you can within the time limit, and other times it's to open as many chests as you can within the time limit. Throughout the game, enemies drop keys, so how many chests you can open depends on how many keys you have. Chests may contain more keys, health restoring food, 1-ups, gold, or magic jars. In a lot of beat-em-ups, you have a special attack which drains health. You have that in Legend as well, but on top of that you have magic. It costs 2 magic jars to cast 1 spell, and you can hold up to 9 jars. Thankfully, enemies drop these somewhat frequently. Other beat-em-ups can be frustrating because you can't effectively block, but in Legend, pressing L or R, you can use your shield, which can be a great help if you know how to use it. Okay, moving on to the bad. The music is fucking shit. The first bunch of stages have the exact same song, and the song isn't even that good. This is really unfortunate because great music can oftentimes make a bland game decent. I mentioned that this game has co-op, but unfortunately there's only one playable character. Now that's really shitty, especially when compared to this game's contemporaries like King of Dragons, which has 5 different playable characters. When you play 2 players, you both play as a different color of the same character. Player 2 wields an axe, but it doesn't function any differently than the sword. At least you can pick whichever color you want out of red, green, or blue, at least the first player can. If you're gonna play Legend, you better have a lot of patience, because this game moves very slowly. Walking and swinging your sword takes forever, and the screen moves at a snail's pace. In some levels, there are times where you'll be walking through a swamp or some kind of rough terrain and you'll move even slower. Please kill me. Now, I know I spoke highly of the visuals, but there are a few flaws. Firstly, a lot of the stages look the same. Not all of them, but you do see a lot of the same set pieces. Also, you see a lot of the same enemies as well. Some levels, even though they look fine, are way too dark. The other problem I have is with the foreground graphics. When I first started playing this, I thought the foreground objects looked cool and helped to add to the atmosphere, but soon enough, I found them annoying as shit. Get the hell out of my way, I can't see! Lastly, and this might be my biggest gripe, Legend doesn't have a lot of depth. Do you know how, with other beat-em-ups, the more you play them, the more you realize that there's more than meets the eye? Like the first time you play Turtles in Time or Streets of Rage, you just kinda walk and punch things until you die. Eventually, though, you start to see how the game works and that there's a lot more going on than just walking and punching. Well, sadly, not with Legend. What you see is what you get. You just walk slowly and hit things with the sword. Yeah, you can jump kick and you can also do a slash attack, but these all seem to do the same amount of damage. The special attack and magic attack help, but they're limited. Seems like your best bet is to just jump kick everything. That's the safest, but it's also not very fun. If you decide to attack with your weapon, you're at a greater risk of taking damage unless you know when to block with the shield. Still though, I'd say it's safer to jump kick everything. Ultimately, the fighting in Legend is just kind of boring, and this is a beat 'em up, so that means 100% of the gameplay is fighting. So because the fighting is bland, the movement is slow, the music is shit, and the character roster is, limited to say the least. I really can't recommend Legend despite its great visuals. Overall, Legend gets a 5 out of 10. So yeah, I'm not too happy that this game kinda stinks. I was really excited to come home and play this when I bought it. By the way, it was pretty expensive, but there's a reason no one talks about this game. Honestly, you're better off sticking with King of Dragons or even Knights of the Round. If you know something about this game that I've missed, please throw it down in the comments below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.